Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Squadcast. This is VJ.
And I'm Joshua.
And this was originally going to be a boxing podcast. Big fight coming out tomorrow night. Canelo versus Lara. Arguably number 1 and 2 in the light middleweight division. But first, breaking news in the sports world today. LeBron James going to the Cleveland Cavaliers after leaving them 4 years ago. And, I mean, this is a power move by LeBron. This is great. First of all, from a fan standpoint, media standpoint, everyone else standpoint, he just completely erased the decision out of people's minds. I mean, people that hated LeBron are now going on radio and saying, I kind of like him now. I like how he did this. He did it in a letter. It was very sincere. And from a personal standpoint, it's a great move. And not only that, from a basketball standpoint, it's an even better move. His only two choices, realistically, were Cleveland or Miami. And in Miami, he would have gone back to a team that lost the finals last year. Have no chance of getting better anytime soon. I mean, Dwayne Wade's getting older. You can't sign anyone good. Everyone else is getting older. And they're arguably not even the second best team in the league. There's probably a couple of teams in the West that could beat them next year. And not only that, if the Pacers make a big move, they could possibly beat the Heat next year too.
And Bulls too.
Yeah, the Bulls too. I mean, now that he goes to Cleveland, he is going with a young cast. I mean, he probably won't be able to win this year, but who knows? Everyone will get better as the time comes. You got Wiggins, Kyrie, LeBron. They have cap space to add people. Rumors are they might be able to add Love. That'd be interesting. And he doesn't have to win 4 championships in 4 years. All he has to do is win 1. He goes to Cleveland, wins 1 championship, and he's gone. That's all he needs. What do you got on this, Josh?
I think it's a big move for LeBron. I believe that if he wins 1, he's going to be on top of the world in the United States. I'm telling you this. If he wins 1, the world will go ballistic.
I mean, no one hates him anymore. All is good. Wins 1, happy ending. Good move for LeBron. Interesting move for the league. And now on to what this podcast was supposed to be about. Boxing. So yesterday, Floyd Mayweather announced he's going to fight Marcos Maidana one more time at the MGM Grand on September 13th. Thoughts about this, Josh?
I believe it's a good move by Mayweather. From a business standpoint, his first fight with Maidana didn't do so well. I think it did under 900,000 buys. But I believe this card right here, this fight coming September, will be another epic fight.
Yeah, and I mean, so if you look at it, people in the boxing community know that this fight probably won't be anywhere near as close as the first one. I mean, the first one, Maidana gave Floyd all he could handle. It was probably the toughest Floyd's ever been challenged. And it was a solid, surprising fight. But in the boxing community, people aren't that excited about this one. Maidana fought his best fight last time. And he's a pretty one-dimensional guy. So no one sees Maidana being any better than he was last time, even if he's lucky.
Yeah.
And so Floyd, on the other hand, fought probably one of his worst fights in his career last time. So unless it was proof that he's getting old now and suddenly he lost his legs, he's going to be a much better Floyd this time, assuming there's less distractions and he's ready to go.
Yep.
And so Floyd is definitely not a one-dimensional fighter. So this fight is probably going to be anything but close. But Floyd did make the big money move this time. Casual boxing fans are probably thinking that it could be close again because the first one was close. There was no other fight out there right now for Floyd that would have made him this much money guaranteed.
I mean, there's Thurman, Porter, but they won't bring money in.
Yeah, I mean, those are the fights that the guys really into boxing want to see. But come on, who knows who Keith Thurman is outside the boxing world?
Who is he? Yeah, one-time Keith Thurman.
Yeah, no one knew Maidana, but after this fight, he's a bigger name now. So it should be interesting. I expect Floyd to easily win off UD. And then hopefully next May he fights my boy Khan, but that's remained to be seen. What do you think
his surprise next May. I have 2 thoughts on this. 1, fighting Amir Khan in the UK would be huge. Number 2, comes out saying, I can work with Bob Arum and I want to fight Pacquiao. That's the only thing that the world want to see, Pacquiao Mayweather. But it's not happening because Floyd does not want to work with Pacquiao's promoter, Bob Arum. I don't know why, but this fight needs to happen no matter what. Money will be made in this fight.
Hey, to be honest, I think D-Rose will return before Floyd fights Pacquiao.
Good one, BJ. Good one.
Anyways, speaking of Pacquiao, actually, supposedly there's been a serious offer on the table for Pacquiao's next fight, to fight Chris Algieri, who just won a close decision over Ruslan Provodnikov. What do you got on this, Josh?
I don't know, man. This fight is just total bullshit. I'm saying. I love Pacquiao. I love him. You know, nothing for the best. You know, but it's his promoter, man, Bob Arum. Like he's cool and all, but Chris Algieri, really? But those were the only options, honestly. Would you want to see Pacquiao fight Marquez again for the 5th time? I don't know. I don't want to see that. 4 times is enough, man. 4 times is enough. But Chris Algieri Pacquiao fight, if it happens, it happens, and we gotta go through this bullshit.
I mean, this, as a Pacquiao fan, this is absolutely pathetic. Just pathetic. Are you kidding me? Manny Pacquiao is the number 2 welterweight in the world. And his next fight is going to be against a guy who had 1 big win in his career over Ruslan, and that was a questionable decision. A lot of people had the fight going Ruslan's way, and he is seriously about to fight the number 2 welterweight in the world. Not only is this going to be a major mismatch on paper and in the ring, Algieri is not all that exciting of a fighter. It's not even going to be a fun action fight like when they pick Rios. This is absolutely pathetic. Honestly, Arum better hope the live money at the gate in Macau is as good as he says it is, because this shit's not even doing 350,000 pay-per-views.
Not even, no.
Hell, Canelo Angulo is probably going to outsell this shit. And not only that,
Canelo.
if it was Top Rank, if it was Golden Boy, I would put some faith in them to have a halfway decent undercard. I mean, Golden Boy usually comes through on that shit. But this is Top Rank. They're going to go to Mexico, get 8 random D-level fighters off the fucking streets, and then put them on the undercard of a Manny Pacquiao fight that's already a garbage fight. This is absolutely pathetic. Pacquiao, honestly, only has maybe 3 to 5 fights left where he's at this level.
Yes, he does.
Still can be number 2. And we're going to waste one of them on Algieri? Are you kidding me? We could have seen him fight Ruslan, which I would rather seen than Algieri. Khan, I don't know what the issue is there with the contracts and stuff, but Khan said he wanted to fight Pacquiao. Broner would have been more exciting than this.
Yep. Danny Garcia,
Danny Garcia, who, even though he's a Golden Boy, they still could have worked that out. Robert Guerrero.
Yeah, I want to see that fight. There you go. 1% right there.
The Top Rank stable, I mean, Ruslan would have been better. I mean, even though Marquez, you've seen him 4 times, a 5th time with Marquez would have made more money. And Chris Algieri, he doesn't even belong on this level. This is crazy, man. I don't even know what to say about this. It's gonna be pissed off.
He got lucky against Provodnikov. I mean,
let's move on to the next subject. I mean,
let's talk about the Danny Garcia fight coming up next month, actually.
Versus Rod Salka.
Who the fuck is Rod Salka? Come on, who in the world is Rod Salka?
Let's not even waste a minute of our podcast on this garbage.
Enough,
this is garbage. All right. Anyways, let's go on to the big fight tomorrow night. Canelo versus Lara. Number 1 versus number 2. This is going to be a great fight. I'm surprised number 1 versus number 2 is actually happening, because boxing fans are used to everyone ducking everyone. So this is great for the fans. I mean, what do you got on this, Josh? I'm excited.
I believe this is going to be a fight of the year, dude. I believe it will be a total war between Lara, the 31-year-old Lara, against the young Canelo Alvarez, the future of Golden Boy. I mean, this is an epic fight season. Well, watch. You guys better order on Showtime pay-per-view right now. Tomorrow night.
One you don't want to miss.
You don't want to miss it. I mean, we got the best of the best fighting each other. And that's the thing that we need to see in sports. I don't care. In sports, boxing, actually.
So, what do you see happening in this matchup? What do you think is going to happen? And not just your prediction, but, like, how do you see the styles working out?
Since Canelo. Let's talk about Lara first. Lara is a southpaw. Very slick. He uses his feet a lot and a good body puncher. I mean, if you watch Canelo Trout, you can find out Canelo's weaknesses against southpaws. I mean, he can get caught, he can get rocked. But Canelo is a big boy. He can take punches very well. And I mean, it's going to be an epic fight tomorrow. What, you, VJ?
Honestly, I am very excited for this fight. It's going to be a good matchup. You have Lara, who's from the Cuban boxing school. Very sound fundamental fighter. Solid fighter. Versus Canelo, action fighter, guy the fans love to see. It's going to be great. So in this matchup, I'm going to give you my prediction right now. I think Canelo is going to win in TKO round 9 or 10.
Wow, broad statement, man.
And so here's why. I mean, so I was watching a lot of Canelo's fights and Lara's fights. And yeah, Canelo versus Trout was close, and Lara blew him out. But after every fight, Canelo learned something new. After the Floyd Mayweather fight, you saw him versus Angulo, looked much better. Given Angulo is not that great of an opponent, but Lara still had a lot of trouble with him. But that aside, given that Angulo is not that great of an opponent, you saw a little bit better defensive Canelo getting into Angulo's guard. When Angulo is being defensive, he's able to throw solid combinations.
Yes.
Canelo's one of the best combo punchers in the game right now. And so I like that from Canelo. And what Lara does, however, have an advantage in the categories of speed and footwork. But I believe that his advantage is not that much to where it's going to make Canelo lose the fight. I mean, it's not like Canelo is Angulo with like really, really slow hands and Lara is super fast and going to beat Canelo. Canelo is still a pretty good, fast fighter. And he's a lot stronger than Lara, to be honest. Canelo has power, man. And if you saw the Angulo fight, Angulo is a garbage version of Canelo, in my opinion. Canelo has more dimensions, is much better, but at the end of the day, Canelo's going to pressure you and try and beat you with his power, and so is Angulo. And Lara got put down twice by Angulo and barely got out of that fight. And so, I mean, Lara might have a shaky chin after watching that fight, to be honest. We don't really know. I mean, Trout's not a big power puncher, so we couldn't tell in that fight. But Lara could have a shaky chin, so if Canelo hits him with a clean shot, he might go down. And so people are like, well, Canelo struggled with Trout, but Lara dominated him. I mean, did you guys watch that fight? That fight was a fight of two guys that like to study their opponents and play chess in the boxing ring. Not a bunch of power punchers trying to go at it with each other. Lara read Trout properly, and both of them, it was kind of a boring fight. I mean, I almost slept through it. Like, they struggled a little bit here and there. Each one tried to study each other, and Lara got the best of Trout. Now, Canelo just pressured Trout and won a close fight, but that was, I mean, Canelo wasn't as good as he was now then, but that was just totally different fights. You can't just compare two fights and be like, oh, yeah, because he won easily, and this guy struggled, this guy's going to win. That's not how it works. Styles make fights. And Angulo's style is similar to Canelo's in the sense that they both pressure you. Angulo's a lot worse. So those are similar styles, and Lara had all he could handle with Angulo. I honestly think he would have lost that fight if Angulo didn't like destroy his eye. That was gross. So that's another story though.
That was a good stoppage by the referee.
And so I think Canelo is going to give Lara some trouble. While this will be a close fight because Lara is still a good fighter, I think Canelo is going to win this fight. Probably knock him down the 8th, 9th round.
You think they're going to brawl?
I don't think Lara's going to get into a brawl. Canelo's going to have to put the pressure on. Probably going to hit him with a few shots, and Lara's going to go into defense. And the people that are comparing Lara to Mayweather, man.
No. You cannot compare Mayweather to you cannot.
Like,
you just cannot.
Lara and Mayweather are not on the same level. Yes, Mayweather is a defensive fighter and likes to pick his opponents apart, and so is Lara. But that's the only thing you can even compare.
They both have two separate brains,
not on the same level, man. Floyd Mayweather's the best fighter in the world. This is Arislandi Lara. He's decent, but he's not Floyd Mayweather. All right, so you can't do that. So I'm going with a Canelo TKO 10. Either way, it's going to be a great fight. Number 1 versus 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Lara won, but I seriously think Canelo's got this. MGM Grand tomorrow night, baby. Let's go.
My prediction on this, I got Lara winning by unanimous decision.
Interesting. You think Lara's going to get the cards out there?
I think so. I really think so. I mean, if Lara outboxes Canelo, I think that's a wrap. But if Canelo catches Lara, I think Canelo is going to win. But I got Lara, Yudi.
Sounds like you're saying the Amir Khan fight or some shit. If he catches him, he's going to win.
But honestly, whoever wins tomorrow, I would like to see probably Cotto fighting one of them.
And I mean, the thing about this after Cotto, the thing about Lara though, he's not. Hopefully, if he does win, hopefully he becomes a big name, big money draw. But if Lara does win and and he's still like the same level he is now, he's not a money draw.
Yeah.
Canelo is still a cash cow. He makes wherever he goes, he makes money. Mexican fans love boxing. They want to see Canelo Alvarez. If he fights Cotto, that's still a big money fight. So hopefully for the future of boxing, in my opinion, if Canelo wins, that's going to be big because he's already a moneymaker. So you're going to have a star moneymaker fighting other star moneymakers. Whereas Lara's still a good fighter. He can still find some good fights in 154, still be number 2 in the division. And hope maybe he'll fight Mayweather one day. Who knows? Because, Mayweather always comes out and makes some surprising choices with his opponents sometimes and attempts to duck Pacquiao. But anyways, we won't talk about that. That's for a whole nother episode. We could talk hours about that.
Yep.
But that's all I got for you this time. Anything else, Josh?
Well, I love boxing.
All right. See you guys. Maybe we'll get back to you with another episode after the fight.
We'll give you our post-fight thoughts.
Yeah, and follow us on Twitter at SportsGuy250 for during the fight analysis.
And follow me on Twitter too, Joshua Larde. I have it in the description down below. Please follow us because we love sports.
All right. Thanks for giving us a listen, guys. See you next time.
Squadcast, we out.